Howdy, folks. Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer, and we have indeed made it to another Beer 30. Cheers. So, for those of you that don't know, this is our weekly segment where we have a beer and we shoot the shit about whatever the topics, the gaming topics of the week are, or the day are, etc. I normally do it on Tuesdays, but there wasn't a whole lot to talk about yesterday, so I pushed it till today. So today's selection is by our Bohemian brewery here locally. They make a Czech-style Pilsner, right there, the 1842 Pilsner Czech style, and it is very good. If you notice, this can is very much in the green and white silver theme, and I don't think that's by accident. There's a couple of famous Czech Pilsners from Czechoslovakia. There's the Pilsker Urquell and the Staropramen, and both of them are the Czech style Pilsners. They're the ones who started it. The original Budweiser, before the guy came here and started Budweiser here, the original formula was over in, the recipe was in Czechoslovakia. And when I was in Germany, you could still get Czechoslovakian Budweiser that was brewed in the Czech style Pilsner Czech style. So anyway, I think that when Bohemian did this, the color scheme and everything is very much an homage to the other Czech style Pilsners. So if you are able to get that, or if you're in the area, if you're ever in Utah or Colorado, etc., try and get yourself one of these. Very refreshing, just the right amount of bite from hops, but not overpowering, and not the Christmas tree pine tasting hops that you find in like IPAs and stuff like that. So anyway, enough about the beer. Let's talk about gaming stuff. So a couple of things jumped out at me, a couple stories jumped out at me that I wanted to talk about. Number one, if you didn't see it, Lego was preparing to do some Lego sets for Overwatch 2 as a tie-in with Activision Blizzard for Overwatch 2, and they released a statement yesterday saying that's all on hold because they are reevaluating their relationship with Activision Blizzard. And this is all further fallout from the whole Bobby Kotick horrible behavior in the workplace, discrimination, sexual harassment, all that, everything. It's all a continuing fallout from that because Bobby Kotick is still at the helm. And everybody and their brother has called for him to resign now, and he doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So I thought it was interesting that they lost another partner there. Well, they didn't lose him, but they're reevaluating. So that, Lego's a big deal. Trust me, I've spent enough in my lifetime on Legos, and I'm just one average user. I can imagine how much money Lego brings in, and to have a tie-in with them for a game, especially one on the level of like an Overwatch 2, something like that, that's a lot of revenue they're looking at. So just for getting paid for the licensing or whatever, So anyway, I thought that was interesting that we're still seeing, and how long will Activision Blizzard, how long will the board of directors, absorb this stuff and say, yeah, we're backing our guy, Bobby Kotick. We're gonna keep backing him, no matter how much money it costs us. We're gonna keep backing him. Where's the line? Where do they call it and say, sorry, Bob, you got to go, man. You are tanking the company. Haven't seen it yet. So, anyway, that was the first thing I saw that jumped out at me. So, let me know your thoughts about that below. The next thing that I saw that jumped out at me was that the makers of Star Citizen and or Squadron 42, the single player standalone, like they're making two games. They're making Star Citizen, which is going to be a gigantic MMORPG in space, this enormous game that they're working on. And they're also simultaneously working on Squadron 42, which takes place in the same universe, and that is supposed to be like the single player standalone game to start you off, I guess, into the world. And they announced yesterday that they're both years away. They used the term still some years to come. Now, normally when we have vaporware issues that come up, the term vaporware and the idea of it, it's talked about. It is discussed. We all have, we have fun with it, etc. This is different in the fact that through crowdfunding, they've raised over $400 million for Star Citizen and Squadron 42, etc. That's almost $500 million. And they're saying, oh, it's still years away. So I've never put a dime into it. If any of you have, I would love to hear your comments below. Now, I know that there is stuff you can play. I know that if you continue to give them some money, it gets you different tiers of access and so forth into the alpha or whatever state that it's in right now. I do know that. But is it enough to keep giving them money? And again, they hit crowdfunding goals again this year, this past year in 2021. At what point do people just finally say, hey, man, give us our money back or something? When's the pushback come? I would love to know that, because that's a lot of money and a lot of time to develop a game. So that's number two. That's item number two. Either one of them you want to give me comments on, please do down below. Next thing. It was announced that PUBG, Player Battlegrounds Unknown or whatever it is, I've never played it. It's a co-op squad multiplayer squad combat game. I've never played it. It seems like a type of game that probably should have been free from the get-go, because I'm sure that they're making their money on microtransactions for skins and that type of stuff, cosmetics and whatever in the game. And apparently there are like league matches and that type of content you still have to pay for. So there's still a model there for revenue. And it seems that the smart thing would have been from the get-go, it should have just been free to get a shit ton, just like, Fortnite or whatever. Get a shit ton of people in there to start spending money on microtransactions. Anyway, so now PUBG is free. At least most of it, except for like the league play, match, whatever it is, the competitive stuff. Let me know what you think about that, because I've never played it. Is that a big deal? Is that something that, do you agree with me that it probably should have been that way from the beginning? Or is it losing popularity and this is a way for them to kind of bring numbers back up? I'd like to know your opinion on that. Now, one of the last things I wanted to talk about. God of War is coming to PC on the 14th, 2 days. Probably, it's going to be on Steam, so it's like 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, or 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, or noon, something like that. On the 14th, it will release, I believe. And that, in my opinion, seems like a pretty big deal, because on consoles, God of War seemed to be a massive title. So I'm probably gonna end up getting I want to try it. I want to see what all the hype's about. I've never watched any videos on it specifically. because I didn't want to see any spoilers and all that stuff. I wanted to be able to go in cold. So I'm kind of excited about that. I kind of want to check that out. Now, I'm going to wait. I don't pre-order stuff. So I'm going to wait and see how the PC version is. How is it received? What are the reviews? Does it get review bombed? Does it come out and there's constant crash to desktops? Are there graphics issues? Are there whatever, you know? I want to see all that before I decide to put my money down for it. But provided that it's pretty, you know, problem free, or I'm not going to use the word controversy because that's not the right word. But as long as there's no glitches, no, you know, nothing technical to stop you from playing the game, or that it's just getting horrible reviews for something that isn't some kind of controversy, you know, some kind of cancel something or other, you know. As long as it's not that, then I'll probably end up getting it and trying it. So, where do you guys stand on that? Some of you have probably played it on console. How do you feel about it coming to PC? Do you think they can do the PC port justice? Because PC ports have a shaded past with some horrible misses. Some ports have been good. It's kind of a, you know, a dice roll there on whether or not how good they are. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was I wanted to go back to the Star Citizen thing. But considering that they said that it's going to be years still before either Star Citizen or Squadron 42 comes out, I have a question for you, and I don't know how to do a poll here on YouTube. I don't know if that's possible, but you can do it down in the comments. Just comment down below. Do you think that we will see Elder Scrolls 6 first, or Star Citizen? Either Star Citizen or Squadron 42. Do you think, because we know that we're getting Starfield, we know we're getting that in November of this year from Bethesda. And then Elder Scrolls 6 is supposedly probably the next thing on the docket. So you're looking at years there too. Which do you think we're going to see first? You think we're going to see Elder Scrolls 6 first? Or do you think we're going to see Star Citizen and Squadron 42? I'd be interested to see your answers. My answer is, I think we're going to see Elder Scrolls 6 first. I have zero faith in the Star Citizen Squadron 42 thing. To me, it seems like they're just continuing to bring in the money, and they're thinking, why the fuck do we have to produce anything? They're still giving us money, and we're not even producing anything. I don't know. That's just one man's opinion. I would love to know what yours is. Do you think we're going to see Elder Scrolls 6 first, or Star Citizen Squadron 42 first? Let me know down below. All right, guys. That will do it for this edition of Beer 30. We have our regular live tomorrow. Wait, no. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. See, when you're a retired person, you kind of start losing track of the days because it doesn't matter. Like, it's all the weekend, all the time. So yeah, tomorrow's our regular Thursday night live that we do. And whatever comments I see from this video, I'll bring them up in the live, and we can kind of talk about them from there. But I thought this was a good bunch of topics to get some dialogue started on and everything, and have an ice cold one too. Okay, guys. Also, if there was anything I missed a big announcement or something you think I should have talked about in this one, please put it below. We will catch you guys on the flip side.